What is better to colour with, pencils or markers? I get asked this all the time, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a very lazy colorist. I use markers for our keepsake books quite a bit, and that's basically because you can add big blocks of bright color really easily, especially when you use markers with a brush tip. And what I tend to do is layer pencils for shading and depth, and you can check out our last video for tips on how to do that. I'm Chloe, and I am the designer, creator, and co-founder of Blueberry Co. Memory Books. I love to draw and I love to colour in, and that is what our channel is all about. I live in New Zealand with my family, my 2 girls, and my husband, who is also the co-founder of Blueberry Co. And we just love to adventure. We're all about making memories with our family. So come and join us, see some snippets of the countryside, help us make some memories, and we're going to create really amazing keepsake books and colouring in pages all together. I can't wait to have you with us on this journey. Don't forget, if you like our videos, please like and subscribe. It does help us a lot. And back to the show. Today I'm tackling one of my very own colouring in sheets. Yes, I drew this one. It was released as part of our colouring club last year. I printed mine out on 170 GSM paper and I'm ready to colour. The challenge that I have set myself today is to draw half with markers, half with pencils. My TikTok feed is full of people dividing their sheet up and colouring in with different mediums, and so that is what I'm going to try for you guys today. What one will look better? Will the colours match? Which one will I enjoy more? We're going to find out the answers to all of those questions. I always start my colouring in sheets by looking on Pinterest for inspiration, and in this case I am so glad I did because I found the best image to inspire my colourful leopard. I did have in my mind that I would do a realistic image with oranges and greys and blacks, but I found this rainbow tiger and I think I'm going to appropriate it for my leopard colouring in sheet. I put down my masking tape and I've decided to start with the marker side first. I'm using my Tombow dual tip brush markers first, and I love these because you can just layer down colour and get big blocks of colour down really quickly. I'm adding some cool highlights to a lot of the leaves here, and in hindsight I probably should have practiced that a little bit because it's not turning out exactly the way that I want it to, but that's fine. In my house, done is better than perfect, so we're just going to go with it. I've added some shadows and dimension to the leaves, and I filled in the background with a really dark purple that I love to use, but now it's time to get to the fun bit, which is the rainbow leopard. I've used a really light pink marker here to block out where I want the colour to go. I'm using the colour gradient to give the face shape and depth because we've got a lot of colours going on here and it's going to be quite hard to add shadowing and light to this. But my one tip is to refer back to your reference image if you have one. It can be really helpful just to get this right. Now I'm just going to colour, and you can see I'm using the brush tip end of my marker, and I'm just going to feather the strokes together a little bit to give the effect of some fur, and hopefully that'll help the colours blend a bit better. One of the downsides to using markers is that it can be really hard to get a seamless blend, and so that's something that I'm struggling with in this colouring in page, is how to blend all of these colours really well. I've also penciled out some white space around the eye, around the chin, and around the cat's little cheeks. What are they called? They're called jowls, cat jowls? Anyway. I ended up going back over this colouring in sheet with the brush tip to add little strokes so it looked a little bit more like fur. It helped cover up some of the bad blending I've done. This is a stressful bit. Do not make the mistake that I made and use packing masking tape. It did tear the page a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking. I had to remove it so slowly and so carefully and touch up the page a little bit, so definitely use washi tape next time. Okay, it's time to get started on the pencil side. The aim of this is to try and mirror the marker side. So I've got my test bit of paper and I've layered some pencils to try and get the colors to match. I'm using the Jazz Art Studio color pencils and it's about $100 for a 72 set, so they're not on the super expensive side, but they are a very nice pencil to use that gives a really bright color. I'm taking baby steps here and starting off really, really light, and already you can see that pencils are way easier to blend. All you have to do is start out light and build the color and layer. It's a much easier process to get a smooth finish. This is the exciting bit, adding the rainbow. I'm just slowly building the color here, and you can see I'm trying to match it with the other side. Oh. Did anyone else notice what I did wrong there? I forgot to mark out my white spaces around the eye and I've coloured right over the top of it, but I'm gonna fix that up in a second. I've coloured all of the face now and I'm just blending in the colours, and it's much easier to get a lot of these colours down and get it right with pencils. Now to solve my little mistake, I've got my white paint pen and I'm just using it to block out the white space around the eye. Here it is, the finished sheet. I actually love it. It's turned out so much better than I thought. I think in the end, I really like the vibrancy of the markers. They are so bright and you really can't beat how fast they go down to get that bright color. But I do love the shading and the gradients that you can get with the pencils. And you can keep building these colors to get a really bright effect if that's what you want. In all honesty, I actually like using pencils and markers together the best. So if that's something that you guys want to look into, have a look at our last video. This was a really fun experiment and I love it. I'm so happy with it. And I think it deserves to go on the wall. I've got last week's one to go up there too. This colouring in sheet took me just over 2 hours to complete, and I showed my kids and they were stoked. They wanted me to print out a colouring in sheet for them to go and have a go at, and they had to try to do the rainbow as well. And even my husband said he didn't know that I could colour that well, so I think I'm winning. If you'd like to have a go yourself, please join our colouring club. Annual members get access to over 100 colouring in sheets right away and 3 new colouring in sheets every single month. All you have to do is download it, print it, and you can get started on this yourself. I've popped the link in the description. Thanks for joining me. If you learned anything in this video or you just liked watching along, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. We'd love to have you along. See you next week.